Hafa and good evening, everyone. At the bottom of the hour, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero will be delivering her second State of the Island address. Joining us from the Guam Congress building now in Hagåtña are Bree and Chris, where we are just minutes away from her speech. Guys?
Hafa, thank you, Nestor. Of course, here at the Guam Congress Hall for Governor Lou Leon Guerrero's second State of our Island address, and already the cabinet members have started to pour in a different scene from Congressman Mike Nicholas's address. It was pretty sparse, but already looking like we're going to see a packed hall. And some of the issues that we're expecting the governor to touch on, I'm looking for her to discuss at length her plans for the hospital. We're also hearing that the environment is going to be another issue that she's going to touch on.
I think the coronavirus, the impacts, Chamber of Commerce, they've been asking for the rollback or the moratorium on the minimum wage, and the governor's already indicated that she doesn't plan on doing that. And so, the increase is set to begin or go into effect next month. Other issues, perhaps, homelessness has been a big issue over the last several months. Public safety, her Safer Guam initiative, she introduced several bills. We're just waiting for the legislature to act on that. Also, earlier today on our Instagram page, we asked some of you to tell us what you wanted to hear in the governor's speech, and some of you posted that you want to hear about plans to reduce government spending, why DOC can't maintain a director, and I think with DOC, Frankie Shizaki, he resigned, and there were concerns in federal court that were raised about inhumane conditions, and that's something that Shizaki had mentioned prior to him stepping away and leaving DOC.
Yeah, and I'd like to see if the governor is going to address that in the speech, because for all intents and purposes, we're right back where we started from with the prison. So many years ago, went into receivership, and it kind of looks like we're teetering on the edge right now. So
another issue, public health. They were forced to move out of their building in Mangilao. Where are they going to go? I know they're in temporary locations throughout the island, so hopefully we'll hear something about that. So many issues to cover tonight.
Look for big proposals, big plans to be dropped. I spoke with the governor earlier this morning, and she said, Chris, all of our plans are big, so look for the big reveal to come up here at the governor's second State of the Island address from the Guam Congress.
Right, back to you, broadcasting that live here on KUAM TV 8 and streaming it live on our Facebook page. Also simulcasting on Isla 63. Back to you.
Thanks, guys. You want to make sure to stay right here on TV8. Immediately after prime time, we will be broadcasting the governor's address, or you can also watch it streaming live on our Facebook page or listen on the radio on Isla 63. Our coverage is in partnership with PBS Guam. A week after being opened, the Dededo pool ceased operations, citing poor visibility of water. Here's more.
According to Department of Public Health and Social Services Director Linda DeNorsi, an assessment was conducted on the Dededo pool late Friday after complaints from patrons indicated excessive chlorine caused their skin to itch and dry up, and one allegedly hit their head against the pool wall due to poor visibility. During the assessment, the inspector observed that, quote, water at the deep end is greenish in color and clouded, end quote. However, the water chemistry met the requirements. The inspection report indicated that water chemistry records were on site upon request, but no records regarding the sand filter replacement could be provided to the Division of Environmental Health. As a result, Department of Parks and Recreation voluntarily closed the pool and will reopen once they are given approval by DEH. Last week, Committee Chair Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano said she had met with the contractor, Canton Construction, and discussed corrective actions. Also in attendance was Public Health.
So Public Health talked about what the requirements are and making sure that the contractor had a clear understanding of that. They were there and they were very receptive about their role in needing to abide by these regulations. We're trying to get to a place where we understand that all regulations are met.
On Saturday morning, another inspection was done at the request of DPR. Water remained cloudy at the deep end of the pool. At the recommendation of DEH, DPR was asked to assess the filter system today in their presence so they can determine the cause of the repeated issues with pool water clarity. Chief Environmental Public Health Officer Tom Nadeau told KUAM News that DEH began a thorough inspection of Dededo pool this morning, and results are pending. As you may recall, it was also on Friday that Senator Regine Bisco-Lee issued a letter to DeNorsi requesting an immediate inspection of the Dededo pool after a constituent informed her of health and safety concerns about the pool. On Friday, February 28th at 5:15 p.m., a continuation of the February 7th oversight will be held, with DPR, the contractor, and public health set to be present.
At the end of the day, the oversight is not just about helping us understand, it's about reaching corrective actions and reaching resolutions, and we want those things to happen.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Gonçalves.
The South Korean government has raised its alert status to the highest level following more new cases of the coronavirus. In a nationally broadcast speech, President Moon Jae-in urged officials to take, quote, unprecedented powerful measures to contain the outbreak. Korea reported 123 new cases on Sunday, raising its total to 556. It now has the second most number of cases, excluding cruise ships, next to China, which reported 648 new infections Sunday for a total of 76,936. The death toll now stands at 2,442. The U.S. State Department has also raised its travel advisory for South Korea and Japan to level 2 on a 4-notch scale. It's recommending that the elderly and those with health issues postpone non-essential travel. Locally, Speaker Tina Barnes has written to President Trump asking for Guam to be included in upcoming legislation to provide emergency funding to combat the coronavirus outbreak. Barnes has also written to Congressman Michael San Nicolas and Joint Region Marianas Commander Rear Admiral John Minoni seeking their support. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Hold up, stop.
What?
You sure you want to do this? Because once you take that bite, there's no turning back to breakfast like this. Nope. Or this. Ooh. Or this.
Wow.
It's time to change your life. For breakfast. With freshly prepared, buttery, crispy McChicken biscuits and savory sweet chicken McGriddles. Now at McDonald's nationwide. Wake up breakfast.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Green Energy Solutions, Inc. would like to congratulate GU Self-Storage along with Calvo Enterprises in doing their part by going green with a monthly power reduction by over 80%. Power consumption before installation was 39,700 kilowatt hours. After installation ended in 6,221 kilowatt hours, which resulted in savings over $10,000 a month. GESI also offers LED lights, solar thermal VRF air conditioning, and solar photovoltaics. Visit our website and let us help you save.
Cockfighting is about gambling, it is not about our culture.
I think it's time that we end the medieval practice of having animals fight and die for our amusement.
The vast majority of Guam residents support stronger animal cruelty laws and the ban on cockfighting. Learn more at endcockfighting.org and help prosecute illegal cockfighting on Guam by sending tips to animal cruelty tips at animalwellnessaction.org. Respect the law, respect animals, respect our island.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Half a day, naano si Judy Flores, Tauto in Alohan. I came here in 1957 when I was a child. My parents were hired as contract teachers, and I was immersed in the village life. I learned to speak Chamorro because everyone spoke Chamorro then. We do have more than just sun, sand, and shopping. We have a spirit here that people can definitely feel. The Hafaday spirit embodies the history, the culture, the language. Food is also a very important part of the culture. You offer food. That's the package altogether. The Hafaday spirit is how the people welcome a visitor, a stranger, and make them feel at home. And I've always felt that, especially in Inalahan and I believe that the Hafaday Pledge is creating that throughout the island.
Based on the blockbuster that has critics craving. It's the all-new Buffalo Chicken Nacho Fries, topped with shredded chicken and drizzled with tangy buffalo sauce. Bring home this mouth-watering sequel with Taco Bell delivery.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. If you're waiting for your tax refunds, we have news you need to know, as the Department of Revenue and Taxation will be mailing out 150 checks this week. This totals about $500,000 in refunds, including those garnished to repay government debts for error-free returns filed on or before August 31st. The legislature held an informational briefing Friday in response to numerous complaints from GovGuam employees over new health insurance provider Aetna International. Company representatives presented an hour-long slideshow explaining the challenges they faced and the solutions offered. In a format directed by Speaker Tina Barnes, Aetna did not take specific questions at the briefing. Instead, they agreed to respond in writing to any queries or concerns submitted through the Speaker's office.
I do know there's a lot of comparisons between prior policies versus what is existing today, what is usual, what is not usual, and from personal perspective, I must say that even having my own loved one go through a lot of trials and tribulations through the transition, it gave for a lot of heartache when I wasn't there to help facilitate it, and it got very, very, very difficult and frustrating.
Barnes says she and her colleagues, along with village mayors, are responding to various complaints about the new provider. Aetna was the first non-incumbent carrier in the last 40 years to win the contract, which is the single largest annual procurement by GovGuam. The Guam Education Board and Department of Education are scheduled to appear back before senators in April to continue fighting for their $365 million FY 2021 budget request. During round one, however, GEB Chairwoman Maria Gutierrez made sure it was known that education officials don't have the time to appear before every single senator to defend their numbers. Gutierrez says they are following protocol in submitting their budget to their oversight chair, the chairperson on appropriations, and to the speaker. Gutierrez was addressing the request made by Minority Leader Senator Tello Taitagui.
So if you want us to visit all of you, I'm sorry, because we're also working. And I trust Vice Speaker Nelson. I trust Chairman San Agustin. So if you're telling us that we should come see you, or the superintendent, I'm sorry. He's very busy too.
Ms. Gutierrez, I appreciate what your comments are and how you feel about it as a chairman of the board. But we all have a responsibility, a duty, to vote on things that we feel that who needs the most money. Now, if Department of Education needs this money, then they should see each of us senators, just like all the other agencies, GVB, Attorney General's office, the courts. They all visit us individually to talk to us about their budget. And if you think that's wrong, then I don't know how you're going to get the support of other senators.
I go to the speaker, who is the speaker.
Well, you need 8 people to vote on that.
Well, if children is the priority, if the students are the priority for all of you, then we don't have to come to each one of you. Education is top priority for all of you because it's election time. Thank you.
The GDOE budget oversight hearing was continued until April 21st at 9 in the morning. GDOE's $365 million budget request is a $21 million increase over the current fiscal year. According to education officials, GDOE has faced significant budget cuts resulting from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and has implemented cost-cutting measures to manage the reduction in resources. In a low-key ceremony this morning, the Sinhanya Police Station officially opened its doors 9 months after a ribbon cutting celebrating its completion was held. Chris Barnett has more.
TCS, this is Eagle 1.
Relay Eagle 1, this is TCS.
Please advise all personnel that Central Precinct Command is now in operation.
Mega Hogat Lou Leon Guerrero sending word out to the Guam Police Department's Tactical Communications Section. Central Precinct Command is open. For real this time. As you may recall, a ribbon-cutting ceremony held for the precinct with much fanfare way back in June of last year. Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority head Ray Tapasnia even marked the precinct project completed back then, but it was today, 9 months after that ribbon cutting, that the precinct was officially opened. Officially.
As we now officially open, and I know you are already moved in, this marks the beginning of the operations here in this precinct.
The new precinct accommodates 31 police officers and over a dozen rooms. The $4.2 million project funded through a U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development grant. The governor said the new police station's opening shows the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is committed to public safety.
We have together always said that our people cannot be successful in life without feeling the safety in their homes.
The governor also pledged to support GPD with the department's budget request for fiscal year 2021 before the Guam legislature.
We will make sure that we provide you with the resources and provide you with the tools to do your job and do your job successfully.
According to KUAM files, the precinct's 9-month delayed opening was due in part to contractor delays, fire suppression system issues, and wiring problems for the station's telecommunications systems. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
On Friday night at the Dusitani Guam Resort in front of family, friends, and island dignitaries, 21 recruits graduated from the 10th Police Officer Training Cycle. According to Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao, it is the first time in years the recruit cycle was double digits. The newest men and women in blue first tour of duty will be patrol, as Tapao says. This is where the officers gain their knowledge and skills. Preparations are already being made for another cycle. Coming up, Dave Delgado has your local sports roundup. Stay tuned.